Hello and welcome back to Wildsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share. I love it when you do. So we are talking about my Flipelope book again. And I forgot to talk about putting envelopes into this flipping out of a mailing envelope book structure. I just totally forgot, so I was thinking about that later, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two craft envelopes and I'll glue them in so that they're full height. And what I'll do, this flip is going to be for little pockets of ephemera things. And I think before I put those down, I will glue in these top flaps. And I'm going to cut, I can actually do that right this minute. Oh. Glasses. Throw them on the floor. Sorry. You would think. So what I like to do is to cut straight across that pocket on that side and on this side. And what I will do is glue these little flappies down, and then I'll have a pocket, so when I mat this, and I'll cut a mat that's that big and also put a mat on the inside, so it makes the pocket really obvious, and the matting will help strengthen the pocket too. And then I will glue the backs of these flaps down, so if the book opens like this, there will be this up and down flap that comes together in a 2-coin and string closure. Then there will be these pockets here for little ephemeras, and I have some good news about those too. And then this will be hid, these flaps will be hidden underneath, and there will be these pockets which could contain a letter, something, if I design that, or they could hold bigger, chunkier journaling cards and ephemera kinds of things. So there are 2 envelopes that I'm going to add. And here's where my journal is going to be. And then here, using this big white envelope, which is the true height of, actually it's a little under the true height. Remember, this is the inside front, so it's cut down a little bit. So I'm going to take the flap of this envelope and glue it right there. And I don't remember what I was going to put on this. I could cut this, flip it around, and oh no, I won't make it a pocket because this is going to be a pocket. So the pocket will be here. Maybe this could be little add-on pockets. I know where the little notebook is going to be. I don't know, I'll have to think of something fun for this section right here. And then again, I think I'll cut across. I may even cut down a little bit. And this is another place where actually a whole half-page letter or something. Can go there. Oh, and I also made, I wasn't sure when I made the first video, but I think this is gonna, I don't think, I've decided for sure, this is going to be a giveaway journal as well. I had so much fun doing the first one back in August. So anyway, I just wanted to go through, there's going to be 1, 2, 3 extra envelopes in this structure, and I'm really glad that I put a nice spine in here. So I wanted to show you that. And then I got to working on the painted papers, and I wanted to kind of show you where I was with those. So this first one that I want to show you is here. This is the original. I'm not actually quite sure what you can see. Yeah, so this is painted acrylic. I don't know if you can tell. There's a little ridge of paint every little while. And I love these little, if you take a flat surface and you pull the a card or a palette knife or something really not high like this, but down flat across with some paint right there, and you pull it across the paper, you very often get these little bubbly things, which I think is very attractive. So this copy, this is one copy. On my printer, it when I change the paper, it allows me to print differently on different kinds of papers. So there's plain paper, there's plain thick paper, then there's photo paper, but there's also I have an HP computer, or printer, and there's also a setting for, they call it specialty paper, and they have one column for one choice for specialty paper matte and one for specialty paper gloss. I don't know what they think specialty paper is, but when I print on specialty paper, it prints that setting. It prints the color all the way to the edge, which is really wonderful, because when I don't, this one was, I just printed it when it was on the plain paper. And there isn't that much difference in color between the two settings. But when I print specialty paper, I don't get an edge. When I print plain paper, I get this little frame of unprinted paper around the edge. So I don't know, I'm learning about my my printer. So I also wanted to show you, this is the original painted paper that I made, and this is the copy, and you can tell here, like right here on the original, this is pretty orange, and right here that's orange, but over here it turns a little gray. And I think what the problem is that this original paper, the watercolor paper, is 11 by 15 inches. So when I put it into the copier, part of, put it face down into the copier, part of it doesn't fit on the glass. There's a little bump, part way down. And I think that lets in light or something. And it ends up turning some of the copies kind of gray. So that's something I'm going to have to fuss with a little bit. I think what I'm going to have to do, this is the second one, and this one was really bad. I got a lot of this gray in it because I put it on the glass so that it would be, you know, right in the middle of the paper. So I think what I'm going to have to do is cut an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper out of each of these watercolor drawings so they'll fit on the glass and lay nice and flat, and we won't get these terrible grayed edges. I can still use this paper for like pockets and fun things like that. And this was, oh, this paper. I think I printed this. It printed all the way to the edge. So I think, how did this go? Like this. See, there's a huge difference in the color. It's very sad, but I think I'm letting light in. And if I cut it to size, it'll sit on the glass better, and I won't get so much gray, and it might pick up, for some reason, the orange a little better. So there's that. Then I made some more cards. This actually is a pattern. I think when I drew the original, where did I put this? Oh, when I drew the original, which was this, there was some little blank spaces in here. And I think what I did, and I can show this to you, this is my light box. You are seeing this, yes? Sorry, the camera's really high up off the desk and my chair is lower and it's harder for me to see what you're seeing. Anyway, this is my light box there. And what I did on the original paper that I traced this from is I had a piece of paper where I gave myself 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and then I drew lines, let's see if I can do this, for where I wanted these boxes to be. So this is a lovely piece of paper. This is a template for myself for making little journal cards, and I like it very much. I've used it a lot, and I was getting a little tired of some of the words. Not that they're bad words, just that I've used them a lot. And I thought it would be fun to make some new words and cards and redraw some of the rectangles and also fill up the page so that I didn't have little empty spaces. This is the birthplace of my true voice. Oh, I have to fix that. I messed that up. All right, so there's that one. Then, oh, which means these won't work. That same typo is right there. It's not a typo when you draw it. It's something else. Well, I can use the rest of them. And then recopy them. So, yeah, so I just redrew this echinacea so it was a little more lively. And this card is a little wider, has a little more space. So is this one. So the little feather is bigger. 7 crows on the lawn in the rain. That was yesterday. We've been having so much rain lately. And then I copied it on different colors of cardstock. Look at this one. Is that yummy or what? So, yes, been having fun with the copier. And then, this is really fun. I like roses. Roses please me. There are lots of connections with roses. Red roses are a flower of love. There's also a strong connection with the Virgin of Guadalupe and roses, and in Mary, Mother of Jesus, there are a lot of traditions that connect her with roses. Old songs, there is a rose of such virtue that I sang in middle school. Anyway, this was a little black and white, a little fierce in its contrast. And I have a setting on my printer, yay, that is supposed to lighten it up, but this actually didn't lighten it up much. So I just kept taking the copy that I lightened and lightening it again. Here, let's go there. And again, and I finally ended up here. And what I'm thinking is that I can take, these papers and print roses on them, and I can make them into cards, like journaling cards, or I don't know what I'm going to quite do with it. I think I made this thinking that I could use this as a signature page, fold it in half, and put it here. That's not bad. You could write around it. But you see, if I did it in this lighter version, you could write over that with even just a flare, any old black pen, and see that better than this dark one. Yeah. So I will keep on playing with the roses. I might do a lot of things with them. I might make journaling cards and signature paper and lots of stuff. And then the last thing that I want to show you, and I still have time. Hold on. So, wait, before I turn that on, let me show you this. I've been playing with a new kind of paper cut. Check this out. Right here, there's sort of this over-under action. The paper cut is here, and I don't know if you can see, but there isn't any over-under. I just traced it that way. I love how this turned out. Now this is going to be signature paper 2, so it'll fold in half like that. When you turn to this page, you'll get half of the paper cut. But you could write, up here, and then inside here you could put a little picture there, or a reminder, glue something in. So I will play with that. But I also wanted to show you some of the other paper cuts that I have been using. So this again, I will trace them so it's a black line drawing the way this is, but I used just copy paper to cut out the originals. This might be almost too big, but maybe that'll work. But aren't those pretty? So you only see half the page at a time. So I'm going to put that there. This one is really big. They are so light. It's like picking up air. And again, I will trace these so that when I fold the paper in half, these will be signature papers. And, oh, this is the card for, you can only barely see, there's a paper cut there and another one here. And I thought it would be fun to spend a couple of moments doing some tracing with you. Now, I didn't get this light box. I think I've talked about this on video before. I only got this light box maybe 10, 15 years ago. And I've been an adult for a very long time. So much longer than 10 or 15 years. So, sorry, I'm going into right brain mode. How am I going to trace this? I don't know if you can see this, but I drew in pencil the center of the page. I drew the edge that I don't want to go past. So this will be the gripper, you know, like on this page that has this white band around it where copiers often don't print, and that band isn't as wide as this, but I like having a little leeway. So I drew the center, so this is 1/2, so I just drew center lines so I could line up the paper cuts properly. And okay, this is over. This should be under. Ooh, got shaky hands. Come on, little piece of paper. And just in case, I don't know what you're thinking, but I have to make a lot of paper cuts before I find paper cuts that I really like. This one's kind of cool, but it's super clunky. And it didn't make the cut. Yeah, my hand's going to be too shaky. I'm going to have to go do arm exercises to loosen up the muscles in my neck so that my hands can draw better. So I guess I can't draw for you right at this minute, but I wanted to kind of show you the setup so that if you wanted to do this yourself, you can do any kind of paper cut. You could, of course, sketch and then trace the final sketch. Yeah, you can, light boxes are so great. You can make beautiful papers for your journals and have them look how you finally want them to look, without all the little sketchy and all the mistakes, and before you've gone to all the trouble to trace all these paper cuts that you choose not to use. Anyway, I started telling you that I have only had this light box for 10 or so years, and before that I used windows in the daytime. They work just great. You just tape everything up on the window in the same order, you know, the base and the thing you want to trace and all the little guidelines. Yeah, so I guess this is what I have for you today. So this is going to be a giveaway. It's almost the end of September, so I probably will give it away sometime in October. And I don't know when, because I don't know how many videos of making. But I have a lot of homework to do before the next. I have to cut all my watercolor papers down to size and then copy them, and maybe copy them twice. Maybe I'll copy these line drawings on top of the copy of the watercolor paper, which will be really pretty, I think. So I guess that's my main homework for me to do before I see you next time, is to get the signature papers down. And also, the copy of these watercolor papers are going to be mostly what I'm using for the matting papers on the book. So I'll have watercolor papers right here. Yeah. Eep. And I will fix that. I'll mat it so that, and I'll take this metal piece off and then mat it up to the top. So it looks like a real book. All right. May you have fun making something wonderful out of not much, which is, I guess, the whole concept of a junk journal. And this isn't really a junk journal because I'm making all these specialty papers. But yes, may you make wonderful emotional things out of almost nothing, and wonderful physical things out of almost nothing, and wonderful spiritual things. Well, that's weird because spirit isn't really a thing. But emotions aren't a thing, and thoughts aren't a thing. But anyway, yeah. May we all make wonderful stuff to delight ourselves and each other out of not necessarily a whole lot. Or maybe you've got a whole lot. Or I don't know. Anyway, may we have fun making stuff. And I blow these blessings across the planet. May we have, I hope this is shining. Yeah, maybe we make wonderful stuff. Have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.